Hi, my name's Erin and I am the Environmental Education Officer here at SERCUL, and today I'm going to talk to you about two things that are becoming a little bit of a problem in our local Perth waterways.
Aquatic weeds and feral fish in Perth's waterways and wetlands. Perth's waterways and wetlands. Perth's major waterways are the Swan and Canning rivers. Perth has many other water bodies, including wetlands, lakes, streams, creeks, and drains. Up to 90% of the wetlands originally found on the Swan coastal plain here in Perth have been destroyed. Invasive plants and animals. One of the greatest threats to our environment is the impact of invasive species. Invasive species change environments where they are found and can reduce biodiversity. They can be competitors, disturbers, consumers, or even prey. They may even cause the extinction of local native species through predation and competition. Perth's waterways are greatly affected by invasive plants and animals. We will now have a closer look at some of our aquatic weeds and some of their impacts. Aquatic weeds are plants that grow in a water body in such a way that has a bad or negative effect on the usefulness, enjoyment of, or health of our wetlands and waterways. Some of the impacts of aquatic weeds include affecting boating, fishing, and swimming activities. Aquatic weeds can look and smell bad. They can decrease the health of water and create algal blooms. They can also reduce habitat available for our native species, and they can also cost a lot to control and to remove. Some of the aquatic weeds found in West Australia include water hyacinth, Slavinia, Sagittaria, hydrocotyle, and Amazon frogbit. Most aquatic plants, including aquatic weeds, are attached to the river or wetland bottom with their roots in the mud. Aquatic weeds can be totally under the water or submerged, with all of their parts underneath the water surface. Others can have some of their parts, including stems and leaves, poking through the top of the water and above the waterline. Others are free floating, with their roots floating in the water around them. We will now have a closer look at one of our most important aquatic weeds, the Amazon frogbit. The Amazon frogbit comes from the Amazon region of South America. It is a free-floating aquatic weed, which means it spends its life floating on the surface of the water. It spreads via seeds and vegetatively. It does look like a mini water lily from a distance. It is highly invasive as it grows and spreads very quickly. It has been found in drains and wetlands all throughout the Perth region. The weed is found in our waterways due to people disposing of the plant from their home fish ponds and aquarium tanks. Amazon frogbit. So why is it a big problem? Amazon frogbit loves warm and hot weather, but it can also easily survive in cold temperatures as well. It has runners that grow under the water. A single leaf will grow roots and develop an entire new plant. Every plant has up to 30 seeds. The plants and seeds are easily transported in flowing waterways such as rivers and creeks. Basically, Amazon frogbit grows very quickly and it can easily choke our waterways and wetlands. Amazon frogbit in large quantities also shades native plants growing beneath it, limiting the sunlight that these plants can receive. It also impacts on water quality and habitat for other native wildlife living in the area. Amazon frogbits can also stop people using the water for activities including sports and other leisure activities such as kayaking and swimming and even fishing. We will now move on and look at some of the feral fish species living in our waterways and some of the impacts that they have as well. Feral fish are species of fish that are not native and have been introduced to our local waterways. Feral fish species cause havoc or trouble in our waterways as they breed and compete with our local native fish species. Some impacts of feral fish in our waterways include affecting recreational fishing, so there's less native fish available for our local fishermen to catch. Feral fish compete with our local species for food. Feral fish can be very territorial as well, which impacts the habitat or homes available for our native fish. Feral fish can also show or exhibit aggressive behaviour, including fin nipping, which can cause injury or even death of our native fish. Feral fish can also introduce new diseases and parasites that can affect our native fish and other waterway animals. Feral fish can also alter habitats by digging in riverbeds and uprooting plants, which can then cause extra muddiness in our waterways. This can also lead to increased algae blooms in our rivers and waterways as well. Some of the feral fish that we have problems with here in Western Australia, including the Perth region, include the pearl chillid, the eastern gambusii, the speckled mosquito fish, the rainbow trout, and the goldfish. We will now have a look at one of our most problematic fish, the goldfish. The goldfish, originally native or found in East Asia. It was first bred in ancient China more than 1,000 years ago. And goldfish come in a wide range of sizes, body shapes, and colours. The goldfish, it's related to the carp fish, and they feed on small shellfish, crustaceans, algae, detritus, and aquatic plants. Goldfish can live up to 15 years. Female goldfish can spawn or lay up to 1,000 eggs, and these eggs will usually hatch within a week after being laid by the female. Goldfish, they come in a range of sizes. If they are found in our natural rivers and waterways, they can grow up to 60 centimetres in length. The goldfish was originally introduced to Western Australia as an aquarium fish for families to keep in fish tanks at home for their pet fish. The goldfish is now commonly found in our Swan and Canning rivers in Perth, as many people, when they decide they no longer would like their pet fish, release it into the river. So goldfish, why are they a problem? Well, goldfish can survive in sluggish water and can tolerate relatively high temperatures and low oxygen levels. Goldfish dig around in the riverbed, uprooting plants and muddying the water, causing nutrients to increase in the water, which can lead to increased algae blooms. Natural food and cover and habitat is also reduced for many other native species during this process. The goldfish competes with native species for food, and goldfish may even eat the young of our native fish species. As many of the native fish in Perth area lay their eggs in the bottom of waterways, the digging of the riverbed by goldfish disturbs the eggs, causing less native fish to successfully hatch. So how did the Amazon frogbit and the goldfish end up in Perth? They were imported into Australia for use in fish ponds and aquariums or home fish tanks. You can easily buy Amazon frogbit and goldfish at local shops and even online. And how did they get into our Perth natural waterways and wetlands? Our aquatic weeds and feral fish end up in our waterways when people tip out ponds and aquariums into stormwater drains when they clean them or decide that they no longer want them anymore. So how do we stop the spread of aquatic weeds and feral fish in our waterways? You can make sure you take the pond and aquarium plants out when you're cleaning your pond or fish tank, and if you are disposing or getting rid of them, place them in a black plastic bag. Leave the bag in the sun for a week, and then you can place unwanted plants in the compost bin. If you decide you no longer want your pet fish, you can sell unwanted pet fish or advertise them for free on local community pages in the newspaper or online. Some pet shops may even accept unwanted pet fish donated back to them. Never tip pond or aquarium plants or fish into the storm water drains where they can easily become weeds or pests. So what should you do if you see an aquatic weed or a feral fish? If you think you see an aquatic weed or a feral fish, try and remember where you saw it and when, including the date and the time of day. You should then tell an adult, and they can help you to report it on the My Pest Guide app, or they can assist you to phone us here at SERCUL on 9458 5664. So thanks for listening, everyone, and I will catch you all next time.